All right, ladies and gents, we are on to M3L36. And today we're not focused on multiplying by tens. We're focused on multiplying 2-digit by 2-digit, and it can be anything. Again, we're going to use the area model, so make sure you have your red notebook. And go ahead and cut your area model, something like that, and write this next to it. Pause while you do that. So just like we did yesterday where we took our number and we put it in expanded form, we're going to do the same thing today. So this being the bigger section, we're going to make 30. We're going to make that 4. Then we're going to break up 18 into 10 and 8. Now, of course, my model is not perfect, and obviously 30 would be bigger than 10, but we're not going to stress over that. We're just looking at the fact that we have 34 broken up and 8 and 10 broken up to make 18 and 34. So ideally what we're doing is we are working on multiplying 8 times 4 tens, or 8 times 4 ones, which is right here, 8 times 4 ones. Well, if I do 8 times 4 ones, it is 32. 8 times 4 ones is 32. Pardon me. And then we say 8 times 30 tens. 8 times 30 tens. 8 times 30 tens. Or 8 times, not 30 tens, 8 times 30, which is 3 tens. 8 times 3 tens is 24 tens. So what that looks like, if you're not sure, is you can multiply it out. 8 times 3 tens, not 30 tens, that would be crazy. 8 times 0 ones is 0. 8 times 3 tens is 24 tens. So your 4 goes here, your 2 goes here. 8 times nothing plus 2. So 8 times 30 or 8 times 3 tens is 240. If you aren't caught up with me, you need to pause and get there. All right, so now what we're going to do is we are going to look at, we did our 8. Our 8 is done. Now we're going to do our 10. 110 times 4 ones. That's this and this. 110 times 4 ones is 40. 4 times 10 is 40. And if you didn't know that, you could have just done it this way. 10 times 4. Ones and tens. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to do 110 times 3 tens, which we worked on yesterday and the day before that. So 110 and 3 tens. So 110 times 3 tens. And just like we did yesterday, we multiply our digits. 1 times 3 is 3, and 10 times 10 is 100. So what is 3 hundreds? Well, 300. So I now have all these parts. 240, 32, 340. So let's go through it over on this side. 8 times 4 ones we found was 32. I'm going to change my color for you. 8 times 3 tens, which we did right here, is 240. Oh, that's not right. 240. And then we did 110 times 4 ones. 110, 4 ones we figured out is 40. Just like a multiplication chart, over and down. 40. And then we did 110 times 3 ones. 110 times 3 ones, which we determined is 300. And then we can add it up. 2 plus nothing is 2. 3 plus 4 is 7. Plus 4 more is 11. Make it look like an 11. 2 plus 3 is 5. Plus 1 more is 6. So we determined that 34 times 18 is 612. Perfect. All right, let's do another one. if you need that area model, you can certainly use it. But what I'm going to teach you is how to kind of visualize that area model and multiply things through. You can write them out also, which would really be beneficial. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to say 4 ones times 7 ones. So you could write it just like this. I want you guys to write this out just so you can have practice with it. 4 ones times 7 ones. Write it out. Yes, even you. 4 times 7 is 28 ones. So it makes it a 28. The next thing we'll do is we'll do 4 ones times 6 tens. Well, 6 tens looks like that times 4 ones. If you're unsure, multiply it through. If you do know that 4 times 6 is 24, 24 tens looks like this. 24 tens. And if you weren't sure, you could have just written it out this way. Ones and tens. Oh dear, sorry, just kidding. Then we are now done with our 4. Our 4 is gone. We've finished using it. So now we're going to move on to our tens. 2 tens times 7 ones. 2 tens times 7 ones. So let's write that out. 2 tens times 7 ones. Well, that is 2 times 7, which is 14, but it's 14 tens. You know, there's a 0 in the tens and then a 14. And what I should have done back here, my mistake, sorry about that, was 4 ones times 6 tens. Go back and fill that in while you wait for the next step. So if you're looking at my arrows, you can see that I have covered my 4. I've covered one of my 2s, but I still have another 2 right here. So we're going to go ahead and multiply that one. 2 tens times 6 tens. We're going to write this out first this time, Mrs. Barnes. Silly me. Times 6 tens. 2 times 6 we know is 12. And 10 times 10 we know is 100. Well, 1200, we know hundreds have how many zeros? 2 zeros. And then I put in my 12. Yes, I won't forget the comma. And then you add them up. 8 plus nothing is 8. 2 plus 4 is 6. Plus 4 more is 10. 2 plus 1 is 3. Plus 2 is 5. Plus 1 more is 6. And then I bring down my 1. So 67 times 24 is 1,608. If you don't have all of this, you need to pause and get it all, because I want to be seeing this in your notes. Go ahead and pause. We're going to go ahead and do one more. So get another space. We're going to do 59 times 35. Just to practice. Label your tops. If you need the area model, after that one, maybe it was a little confusing, go ahead and get it. And split it into 2 pieces. 59 expanded is 50 and 9. 35 expanded is 30 and 5. So you're just multiplying each section. So let's go ahead and work our way through that. If I do 5 ones times 9, I get 45 ones. 5 ones times 9 ones, 45 ones. Then if I get 5 ones times 5 tens, 5 ones times 5 tens, I get, you're right, 25 tens. So my 5 is used. Again, if you're not keeping up with me, you need to pause. Then we switch over because our 5 is used up. Now we need to do our 3. 3 tens times 9 ones. 3 tens times 9 ones. 3 times 9, we know is 27. And 10 times 1 is 10. So it's 27 tens. 0 for the tens, 27. And the last part is 3 times 5. 3 tens times 5 tens. 3 tens times 5 tens. Make sure you have that written down. And we multiply 3 times 5 and we get 15. And 10 times 10 we get 100. 15 hundreds, we know hundreds has 0 places or 2 zeros next to it, 2 places next to it, and here's my 15. And then we add them all up again. 5 plus nothing is still 5. 4 plus 5 is 9, plus 7 is 16. 2 plus 2 is 4, plus 5 is 9, plus 1 is 10. 1 plus 1 is 2. Your answer should have been 2,065. And if you had done it this way over here, this area model way, you would have had 25 tens, 45, 27 tens, and 15 hundreds, exactly like we got over on the other side. All right, this was a long video. You need to find your partners and do your partner or problem set. Good luck.